I'm just trying to make sure that everything is live. Okay. We're good.
That went, now this is in North Carolina. He went to someone's house to fix a leak, and when he went in, he didn't have any protective gear on, and this is an older lady. So he didn't have any protective gear on. He then, after he finishes the leak, proceeds to tell her that he just got back from Mardi Gras.
Oh, no.
That he has one daughter who just came home from college and another one who just came home from New York.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So y'all can imagine how freaked out that she was. Then I had heard of another one where they came in, another service guy came in, and he actually came in a hazmat suit, white.
Wow.
Yeah. And
That's
I thought,
cool.
that's super cool and very considerate.
Yeah.
So some of these, and I will have to say, my husband's probably one of the ones, I think he would be very considerate if he had to go into someone's house.
I was going to say.
Anyway, so I just thought that was interesting. If you are a tradesman, please be a little more conscious about when you're going into someone's home and they are very nervous about what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Very nervous.
And I don't think it's just senior citizens. So I was supposed to show a house on Sunday to my buyers. Well, they're actually Dwayne's buyers, but I was up there as my way, so I was going to show it. But anyways, and
sorry, right in front. Hey, there's my arm. Sorry. Sorry, y'all.
And the sellers did not want the buyers in the home. I completely understand. I wasn't trying to be complaining or anything like that. But what they were saying was, we're totally okay with you guys coming in or you guys, I mean me, coming in and
Why must you always do that?
Oh, sorry, y'all.
Yeah,
Is that better?
that's what
I just felt like I was looking at the ceiling.
Anyways, the buyers coming in and looking at the home and possibly touching things, even though I know that the buyers don't have
You don't know,
anything.
though. You don't know.
I do know, because this
They've been
family has
tested?
not left this house since this has started.
Okay.
Like, that's how these people,
Okay.
they haven't left.
All right.
So anyways, and they were like, you can come in, you can video it, and then you can send it over to the buyers, but we prefer not to have the buyers in the home. And I completely understood where they were coming from. I was like, that's not a problem, not even a little bit. I'll come in, I'll video it, and then I'll send the video on over to them. Ended up, it wasn't the right home, so we ended up not doing it. But it is something that a lot of agents are doing right now. They're offering to go into the homes, do a video, and send it over to their buyers.
So that being said, would you buy a house off of a video?
No. But that's me.
I don't think I would either.
But I have had people who bought houses sight unseen.
Yeah, that does happen.
Yeah, and I've rented. Honestly, when we moved from Florida to Phoenix, the house that we moved into, I had not seen.
Well, when I moved to Kansas, but that was an apartment. So actually, of course, we just sold one.
Yeah, I was going to say, we just sold one.
And that was not a...
We had someone that was out in California. Didn't even see the house.
And that's both of the ones that I've had where somebody's bought it sight unseen. They're both from California. So maybe it's a trend. Maybe they're used to that.
Well, I think that it happens more often than you realize. When you're in a smaller community like what we're in, everyone's used to doing things the way it was done in the past. Bigger cities, it's not that way anymore. A lot of people buy without actually walking into the house.
I have to walk a house. I have to feel a house. I'm always looking at sight lines and like at my old house in Kansas.
Y'all,
was that the bathroom was sort of right at the top of the steps. So if you left that door open from the kitchen and from the living room, you were looking straight into the extra bathroom. And that just bugged me. I just always hated that. So I was always running up there and shutting the door, sight lines.
Really? I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
I've never looked at sight lines.
Yeah.
I'll look and see the view.
Yeah.
Or something like that, but outside, but I've never thought about it on the inside.
But see, I think about, like when I walk into a house, my first thought is, okay, where's the couch going to go?
Yeah.
you know, and then I kind of stand there and, okay, what is the view this way? What's the view this way? What's the view this way? Because you're probably getting there a lot, right?
Yeah,
so
never.
you don't want it to be the bathroom. I mean, I don't know. I'm
For
just.
me, when we bought our house, we were more concerned with outside living. We didn't care. I mean, we cared in the sense that it had to have at least 3 bedrooms. It had to have at least
Right.
2 bathrooms. But the fact that we bought our house based on acreage, based on the detached garage, based on what I thought was decent gardening ground.
That's not in Georgia.
And then you moved here and found the red clay.
No, girl, I found the granite.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
telling you,
That's right. You're over
I
that
live
way.
on top of the biggest granite freaking rock.
You do
It's
have.
ridiculous.
Yeah. You have
Yeah.
a lot of granite where you are.
And we were totally deceived because there was like 2 inches of topsoil right on top of that. So we thought it was good. And then you get down below that and it's nothing but granite. I was so mad. So mad.
Is that why David's collecting tannerite? Just kidding, David.
Legit, seriously, out in, I think it was Good Hope this weekend, someone was setting off something.
Oh,
And all of my friends were on Facebook. Did you hear this? Did you hear that? What are you out there doing? And then they were describing it. And I was like, I know what that is, but I ain't saying nothing.
well, you know, that's
Dynamite.
funny.
It was tannerite.
That's
What's
funny
tannerite?
because
Okay, y'all. What's
Tannerite
tannerite?
is
kinda
similar
like redneck
to
dynamite.
dynamite.
It's like
redneck
dynamite.
dynamite.
But you dish and dynamite, you know.
Kinda. So what you do with tannerite?
Let's not tell
I
people.
have no idea how to make it, y'all. You gotta go buy it. I don't know how to make it. But I will tell you this, and
What's
I don't
it
know
good
who
for?
does this. It's good for blowing up pumpkins.
Oh, that'd be fun.
No, it's
Yeah.
not, because then your entire backyard turns into a pumpkin patch for
How
3
about-
years.
how about watch Tiger King and you
No.
know what
No.
tannerite is?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Anyways, you don't have to, like, there's no wick. You don't have to actually light it. You
just
literally
shoot
shoot it.
Oh.
And it just
Yeah.
it's so fun.
Yeah.
It kind of is. I like blowing stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
blowing stuff.
David, you're going to have to
Say.
tell everyone the story about whenever it did not happen with anyone that we knew, but they've set up a bunch of pumpkins to be shot at.
Wink,
Someone
wink. Heard this through
tannerite
the grapevine. Wink, wink.
inside of a pumpkin and asked them who had to keep pulling up pumpkin vines.
Listen, it sounds like one of those.
That's awesome.
Hey, y'all, watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Hold my beer.
that episode was very much a hold my beer and watch what happens. For real.
That's awesome.
I told y'all we had some helpful information. I'm beginning to wonder.
No, okay.
How did we even get started?
I don't
I don't know.
know.
I brought it up, but why did I even bring it up?
Y'all,
Kind of like the no armed man this
we
morning.
get
Oh my God. Whoop a man's tail, man. Y'all.
that was so funny. At some point, y'all need to ask Lynn about her friend that got beat up by a guy with no arms. It's a really funny story, and especially with Lynn telling it.
She's got talent, though. It's awesome.
So, helpful information.
We do have some.
Did y'all know that Mystic Grill's opening back up today?
Are they just doing like?
Yeah, they're for
That's
takeout.
wonderful.
I don't know why they closed in the first place, because a lot of the restaurants on the square did not close. They all just went to takeout. But for some reason, Mystic closed for the last 2 weeks. I'm not getting into that. I don't care, whatever. But they're back open and they're doing a limited menu of takeout. So,
Very nice.
have you guys ate out? Has anyone done any of the takeouts? Did y'all know that Grubhub is supposedly doing free delivery right now? Like, definitely make sure that you tip the driver, because that's how they make the majority of their money. But Grubhub's not charging any fees to do any deliveries.
And
I don't think
Savannah
they
told me
deliver to me.
there are 3 different. You've got Grubhub, you've got DoorDash, and you got
Eats.
Uber Eats. One of the 3 will, like for instance, with Chick-fil-A, when they pick up their order from Chick-fil-A, that order is sealed.
Yeah.
Which now not all of those do that.
Well, we
That's
got
kinda
Papa
cool.
John's over the weekend. No, we got Papa John's last week. And first and foremost, the guy, like, it automatically now, whenever you order it over the internet, it automatically says that it's going to be a door drop off. I don't even know if they give you an option for anything else. But then I was outside already. Again, we're outside people. We're always outside. So I was outside, the dogs were outside, David was outside, Tucker was outside. Guy gets there to deliver. And he was like, I can't have you within 6 feet of me. So I had to literally walk to
Throw it to me.
I thought he was going to. The way he was walking up to the door with it in his hands like this. And I was like, dude, if you throw that pizza at me, you're going to throw down.
I'm going to be in your 6 foot bubble.
You are on my property and it is where you will stay.
So I had to step up
I can't bury you, though.
our door.
Stand right.
Oh, jeez.
Y'all need to come out to
We
the
have
country
multiple
one
ways of
day.
getting rid of people. We're good with that. So I had him back up to the door, right? And he set it down on my porch like a good human being would, because if he'd thrown it, he saw the fire in my eyes. But anyways, and he sat it down on the porch, and he waited for me to get the pizza out from on top of the bag, and then he went and picked, check it. But I couldn't check it. So I went to check it, like open.
It was sealed.
It was sealed.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So it was 100% sealed up. No one could get in there. No one could cough on it. No one could touch it. And then the driver stayed 6 feet. He stayed more than 6 feet away. I think he thought I was sick or something. I don't know. But
You probably saw the look in your eye and thought, I'm not getting anywhere with
yeah,
this
he
chick.
was like, I'm not going to get
She's a little scary.
I'm
Was he looking at David like, you watching her? Are you watching her? I'm watching her. Are you watching her? Because
David,
you going to be the one who got to do something with her.
David was out in the garage, and I was up on the front porch. He parked in between us.
That's hilarious.
So poor guy was like, man, these people are going to get me if I don't do this right.
That's hilarious.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Also, what I found out this weekend, I sent Savannah, poor Phoenix has ended up with the poison ivy that I had. It's not poison ivy, but it's some type of ivy.
Could be sumac.
I'm
or
thinking
one
it
of
might be,
those,
sumac. But sent them to get the prescription that got called in for them. And usually they are open later, the pharmacy. They were closed at 6.
Now, they're not, I don't know if who you're using, but
Walgreens.
Kroger is not open until the store closes. Granted, the store's closing earlier now, but
Yeah.
they're closing early, and they actually prefer for everyone to do the drive-through.
Yeah.
So that's up in Loganville. I don't know what about.
I would imagine that with Kroger, it's probably all of them. So I would suggest you guys, I know we still have to get groceries. We have to still get some of this stuff, but please limit the amount of times you've actually got to go in stores. There's so many services out there. Kroger, you can pick it up in the parking lot. You can do Instacart where they actually bring it to you. And I've used Instacart for over a year now, and I'm in love with it.
I heard the Instacart, though, we were talking about it on Friday. The Instacart drivers were talking about going on strike.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they feel as though they are not receiving hazard pay for being out in the public, and they're not being provided any type of
appropriate
safety protocol stuff. So,
well, if they did like that driver does, then you should be fine.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just relaying the information.
Now,
none of those places deliver to me.
Oh, you're right.
So
I would check though, because right now they're not putting limits. Some of these places are not putting limits on how far they will drive. So you might want to check.
I'm about 10 miles out of Covington.
I know.
So I don't know.
See, for any of the restaurants in Monroe, I am just outside of the perimeter. But David's friend Jeff is right inside of that 10-mile mark. So we just can have everything delivered to Jeff's house and then run over and pick it up.
There you go.
Literally,
It's like almost
here
across
and
the
he's
street.
here. So
Yeah.
I've
it's like,
tried doing that. I've even because there is a Pizza Hut in Honey Creek. Well, right across the street, those two pizza places will deliver it to us.
Oh,
but Pizza Hut won't.
that's weird.
And so I've tried saying, I'll meet you at that point
Right.
to where you cut off. They wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Some people, there are some businesses out there that are kind of strict. That's why I was asking. If anyone has done any of these delivery places for any of the restaurants in Covington, for any of the restaurants in Loganville, Monroe, Conyers, let me know who you are getting to do the delivery first and foremost, and what restaurants are you using, and is the food still as good as if you ate in the restaurant? Because I haven't done it, but I really am. I'm having withdrawals from a fast food, y'all. I'm just having major withdrawals.
See, and I'm only trusting pretty much Chick-fil-A because I know that they're particular about how,
How they do stuff.
how their people are doing stuff. What?
I
You
don't.
telling me something bad? I don't want to hear it.
Okay. Okay. I don't think it's the one in Covington, but I'm going to go ahead and tell the story.
I think it's McDonald's.
Yeah. Worker tested positive for COVID.
Yeah, so they
See, and
closed
I've
the
been
whole
saying this
store.
the whole time, y'all. I've been saying if you've got a restaurant, why are they not requiring them to be tested? They're handling food.
Because I think it changes every day whether they are exposed or not. So they would have to test them every single day. Not to mention the fact that
they would.
a new report came out over the weekend. I'm pretty sure this report is kind of a little late on the mark because a lot of people already knew this. People are asymptomatic can expose, and they're saying that over 50% of the population has had COVID and did not get tested because they were asymptomatic and that they passed it around to everybody else.
Well, I really think this is what was going around in December and even back in January.
That's what a
It's
lot
the
of people are
same
thinking.
symptoms.
Yeah. But
So-
just to be clear, it is airborne.
Yes, it is.
It is.
airborne.
And the CDC has confirmed that.
Yes.
So that means if you cough and you have it and you cough in an aisle in a store
And you walk away. You
and
can walk away from,
leave from like
there.
30 minutes, an hour, or whatever. I don't know the time that it stays in the area.
Over the weekend is how artists supposedly doing this.
Y'all, I have
not
a
been.
story.
I have not been, so I'm curious to know.
You're lucky.
They're supposed to be limiting people in the stores. I've heard that.
And making the
And
aisles
then they
one way.
set up, right, where you have closed off, like the clothing departments, and
Okay.
the toy department, the non-essential.
That has not
Things.
happened anywhere
You
in
ain't getting away.
County or Walton
You
County.
either go smile and wave.
Hey.
That has not happened anywhere in Newton County or Walton County.
What?
Okay.
Saturday,
All right. I haven't tried.
whole limiting people.
And how they're
But tell y'all
like they're
this
made.
story. So Friday, the dogs were running low on food, but we still had a little bit of food. So I was like, I'm gonna stop at Walmart in Covington. And they had a long line outside. I'm like, I'm not standing in that line for these daggum dogs. They can starve. So then Saturday, I woke up and I literally ran out of food. That was the last of their food, was their breakfast. I'm like, man, dang it, I actually have to go and get some
Right.
dog food. So I had to bring Lynn a doggy gate anyway. So I brought Lynn a doggy gate, dropped it off at the door because no one was home. And then I'm like, I'm going to go to Walmart out here on Salem Road.
Y'all. Tell me about it.
It don't even have to be COVID
No,
for you to get some good
yeah.
stories out of that one.
So they have it blocked off where you can only go in and exit out of the grocery entrance. And they have this little itty bitty teenager girl standing there, like clicking the little box for everyone that's walking in. But they never, not even one time there, stopped anyone and said there's too many people in the
Yeah,
store.
no,
Okay.
Right.
I get in the store thinking this place must be dead, even though the
Oh,
parking
it's
lot is
packed
full.
out.
It was freaking packed. Everybody and their brother was in there, and they were just hanging out because they were bored. Okay,
Oh,
they were
wow.
not shopping. They were looking in the clothes section. They were in the crafts and art section.
And they're saying, don't do that. This
and
is
I'm
not
like,
the time to
I'm cutting
browse.
through all of these sections, trying to be really quick to get to the dog food, and then I also had to get some bags. So I'm like cutting through, right? I cannot tell you how many people accidentally touched me. If you people don't stay away from me, we're gonna have some issues, and I'm gonna get arrested.
I'm gonna be 6 feet from you, and we're gonna air fight.
No, they had already touched me. So at that point, I was like, I must be COVID already. So I'm gonna go ahead and get you right
See,
now.
I think I'd have had to say, I am COVID. Get
Oh,
away from me.
Gosh, y'all,
Oh
I
my
was
gosh.
so irritable, and I was
That's
only in
funny.
this for
It's
5
not
minutes.
funny.
I
Well,
literally went to the
and-
back, got a 44 pound bag of dog food, ran over to the Ziploc section, grabbed a bag of Ziplocs, and I headed up to the front of the store.
Mhm.
I had to wait in line at the front of the store too. I was not a happy camper.
Were they separating
Yes, they
people
did.
in line?
No, they did not,
Mine-
ma'am.
That one that I was at, they did to me.
Listen,
Even
Because
Dollar
this lady
General's
was
doing
all
that.
up on
I
us.
had, that's what I was gonna say. I had this old lady behind me. She didn't have a buggy, and I didn't have a buggy, and she was almost touching me. She was one of the ones I was gonna
See,
air fight.
even Dollar General's making you stand.
Well, they have
you
these
know,
things
like
on the
wait.
floor.
Yeah.
But they don't make people pay attention to it. That's the problem. So
Oh,
How
man.
can you
I'm
talk?
not complaining
Go
about
to Walmart at your
Salem
own risk.
Walmart. I'm just saying, Salem Road Walmart. Y'all
Well,
need to
and
step
I will
up.
say the whole time I was in that Walmart too, never once did I sit here anything that said stop or don't go in. You can't. You're gonna have
No,
to wait.
They didn't. Not even a little bit.
I know. And see the Walmart in Covington on Hazelbrand, same thing. They were doing the same way.
Well, when
where
I
they had
stopped
it.
on Friday, they actually had a long line outside. So and that's why I was like, I'm not gonna stop here. I don't. have
Yeah.
time for
See,
this.
I'm like, I ain't.
And I know that Home Depot is limiting 100 customers in the store at one time.
And I think it has to do with square feet
Yeah,
right now,
it
isn't
does.
it? Like,
They're supposed to keep it, I think, at 20% of maximum capacity. Is what I've been reading. I don't necessarily know that they're obeying that.
Now, also, you guys, you're going to start receiving, if you're in our county, start receiving the absentee ballot vote. It's an application. You don't have to mail it. You can actually, if you'll read through the thing, you can actually scan it and email it to them so that if, for instance, our polling places aren't able to be used, you still have a way. I went ahead and sent mine because I still, even if something happens, I want to be able to vote. So guys,
I sent mine too.
definitely.
I don't like the thought of it, of mail-in ballots.
No, I don't
think
either.
that's insane. But I mean, I went on and did mine too, because on the off chance, I still want to make it count.
For those of you who were unlucky enough to not use us for your real estate agents and you're closing on a house, I will give you some helpful advice. When you go to that closing, buyer or seller, do not wire, do not email about wiring, do not email any of that. Take a hard copy piece of paper with you to the closing attorney, hand that to them, let them know when you start the process that you will not at any point be emailing them saying that you are changing where you're sending proceeds or changing where you, any of that, okay?
Your
Well, that's for the
your
listing.
agent should get a copy from the closing attorney and hand it to you, a piece of paper. No text, no phone call, no email is going to change that. It's going to be what is on that piece of paper that your agent showed you once they knew that you were going to be wiring money. End of
Because
discussion.
it has become so bad.
It's horrible, those
Bad.
scammers, y'all. I'm telling
We've
y'all.
had it, we've had 3 attempts and no, 4 attempts, and 1 attempt was almost successful because the closing attorney wasn't
Didn't
a
verify
good
things.
closing attorney. That's all there is to say about that. They did not, it was the closing attorney's fault.
It's,
So-
the scammers just all across the board, y'all.
They,
They're
so
making me
please,
crazy.
please, 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 because sometimes there's no recourse. If you are to, say you're a seller, you're waiting for your proceeds from the closing, after a certain time period, there's almost no way for them to get your money back.
I have not heard yet of anybody getting their money back. Have y'all?
Well,
Yes.
here's the
You
thing.
have?
Yes.
Okay.
So as long as, and this is on the sellers and what we're discussing. If you are selling your home,
I'm on the buyer side.
yeah, and we'll discuss the buyers as well. If you're selling your home and you go to closing, you sign all of the documents, if that money has not been wired into your bank account within an hour, maybe 2 at the very most, you need to be on the phone with the closing attorney's office. They need to start the process within 2 to 4 hours. If for some reason you don't notice that and it goes 24 hours and you still have not received it, sometimes they can find the funds still. However, once you get to that 24-hour mark, it drops. Like the
chance of recovering your money.
Yeah, the success rate drops drastically.
Yeah.
After 48 hours, you will not see that money.
Pretty much.
You will not see it. So
Yeah.
do not take any chances. Whenever it comes to selling a home, that's a lot of money. Whenever it comes to selling that home, after you go to the closing, you need to check with your bank within 2 hours to see if that money started transferring over. If it has not, you need to contact that closing attorney. If for some reason you forgot and didn't do it within 2 hours, within 24 hours,
You
you
better
better be on the phone checking to make sure that that money is completely in your account. Within 24 hours, it is completely in there.
And the problem with a lot of people are like, well, I'll just get a certified check. Guess what?
You can't.
Nope.
Not whenever it's that much. Now, whenever you're a buyer and you don't have to bring that much money to the closing table, every once in a while they'll allow you to do a certified check. But a lot of the time they don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. It's acquiring again. If you're a buyer and you're having to wire money over to the closing attorney's office, you will receive an email from the closing attorney with all of the wiring instructions. This is what I tell every single buyer. Print those wiring instructions out.
And then
After you have printed them, you will call that a closing attorney from the phone number that you already have and you already know is a legitimate number, and you will verify all of the wiring instructions. Then you take that piece of paper that you printed out to the bank, hand that to the bank, and have them wire based on that information.
And again, no phone call, no text,
Yeah, phone call
no
verify.
email, nothing is going to change that.
Yeah.
No.
And I will go to my closing attorney and have them print it off for me because I don't even trust the email.
Yeah.
You know, that
Well,
original
I like
email, I
the
just
fact-
I don't take any chances with it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I will get you the wiring instructions. I'll hand it to you. And literally, without talking to me physically, it ain't changing. I promise. It will not change.
No, it really won't.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
the
we've
problem
had-
we're seeing is where,
An hour before.
yeah,
Years,
no, it's
they
right
got
at,
an email an
no,
hour.
it's right at the time that funds are to be dispersed that these closing attorneys are receiving emails saying, you know, I've changed my mind. I want you to send it to this place.
Right.
And here's my wiring instructions and I'm the seller. So it is really, really
It's
scary.
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Because I had heard of an older lady who was destitute because she was supposed to send 60,000, and then she ended up, they told her, well, we didn't receive the first 60. So she sent them another 60.
Yeah.
So $120,000.
It's probably all she had.
Yeah. So it's very, very important. And this is something that if you guys, I am the type of agent that will tell you, if you want to try to for sale by owner your house, I am not going to insult your intelligence by telling you cannot do it. You can, but guess what? I can go out here and repair my car by some video I've watched, but guess what? I don't know, is it going to be the best repair job? There could be steps that I don't know that someone knows because they do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing with a real estate agent. You know, yeah, you can sell your own house. Will you make the most money and will you be legally protected? Probably not.
And every transaction is so different. I
It
mean,
is.
You know, even though it's technically the same thing, it's not. It's totally different every time you sell or buy a house.
And how many times have you sold a house in your life? If, you know, maybe at the most 5 or 6, that's uncommon, but most people maybe 3 times in your whole life. We are doing this every day.
And things have changed a lot in the last 15, 20 years since you
Girl,
last,
things are changing
since
daily
you
right
last
now.
sold a house. You know, or
Should add to every offer, contract, whatever we have that deals with COVID. So it's stuff like that, you guys, that you could end up in a huge legal battle because you did not with these things. So, hey, if you want to sell your house, great. And we would be happy to give you some hints and tips and everything else. But just know that when you do something every day, you kind of know a little more about it than the average Joe.
and you can always tell when somebody's pulling your finger, pulling your leg, or whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it.
I guarantee you,
Because we can spot them every time.
we will save you time and we'll save you money. And we'll save you a lot of headache and troubles of ways that you're possibly opening yourself up legally. So, yeah, you can go hire an attorney, sure. But does he know your house? Does he know your situation? Does he know all of, he's just going to write you a general contract. So, again, I'm not going to insult your intelligence and tell you can't sell a house. I think that is the most rudest thing that somebody could do. But I highly recommend it. It's well worth. And here's the other thing, guys. We don't make as much money as y'all think we do.
No, not even a little bit.
No,
We
not
do.
even
Everybody
close.
thinks that real estate agents, they see that commission and how much is paid out at closing, and they think, oh, they get paid way too much.
Yeah, but if you break it down to
Woo!
an hourly wage, we make less than minimum wage
Mhm.
just for everyone.
Sometimes, yeah.
No, pretty much every single time we make less than minimum wage.
Well, and when you,
I mean, that's the reality.
yeah,
Because we are in that commission, we don't get to keep all of that.
No,
And then
we may get a third.
we get paid at the end of the deal. We don't get paid in the beginning. So everything that we've spent
yeah.
and
Yeah, and with me being Miss Marketing, I spend a lot of money on your house.
We do,
but right now we can't give them out.
no,
Well,
that's
we
true. We can't.
Too bad we can't find hand sanitizer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they want that kind of stuff so bad. And I'm like, no, we're putting this into a house.
Hey, also, I have a friend that is making the mask.
Oh.
So if you guys are interested, let me know. They're $10 a piece. They're super cute. And I know trying to find a surgical mask right now or any of those is darn near impossible.
And I saw a thing on Pinterest, I think.
And hers are $10.
Because these are obviously reusable masks. In order to disinfect them, put them in your microwave, put them in a plastic bag, put them in your microwave, and turn it on for, I think it's, you might want to look that up, but it will disinfect it.
I did not know that.
Because the heat, the heat
the
obviously
heat will
kills
kill it.
germs, so.
Because like everybody is saying, oh, come summer, the heat will kill this. No, it has to be like 130 degrees.
We're all moving to Phoenix. All
It
of
has to
it.
be like 130 degrees to kill this in the air. So the heat this summer, God willing, it won't get 130 degrees.
I don't think it's ever been 130.
No,
No, knock on wood because we don't need that.
no. So I'm trying to think of other helpful hints for them.
I don't know. We kind of ran over our 30 minutes already, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Most times they're cool, right, y'all?
Yeah.
Because we ain't right, and y'all like to see train wrecks. Come on.
Yeah. Although I will say we've actually been super serious for the last 3 times.
Okay, hold on. I'll go this way. Chugga, 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 chugga. Woo, woo!
Y'all see her getting closer to me, right? I'm like,
Oh, jeez, Louise.
careful there, Killer.
All right.
Trying to
Man
run.
killer.
All right, so we will keep, and this is something else. If y'all know that someone who is elderly or some kids that don't have food, let us know.
Yeah, please.
Because there are a lot of times that we have to go places that we could pick up stuff for someone. For instance, my husband is a contractor. Unfortunately, he is in Home Depot. So if you guys need anything from Home Depot, if y'all place the order, we'll pick it up and bring it to you. So just let us know how we can help you guys.
But we're going to obey the 6-foot rule. So
We're
we're
gonna
dropping
drop-
off on the porch.
drop
We're
and
gonna
run.
give you- we're going to give you the evil eye if you come outside of the door.
Yep. So seriously, if you need anything, let us know if we can help you in any way.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Think pink.
Hey, wait. Hit finish.
Huh?
Hit finish. Okay, there we go.
Chop the end off of it there. Stephanie